Anderson from Marie's Custom Quilting. I'm a best-selling author of a book on Amazon called The T-Shirt Quilt, How to Design and Create Your Own T-Shirt or Memory Quilt in a Weekend. I'm well known in the area for making these. I also help people if they want to make their own. Another thing I do is I quilt on leather. If you look up here, this is a piece I did for an international quilt show last spring. It's the Gorge, Columbia River Gorge, Rooster Rock, the Vista House, and Mount Hood. This piece won Viewer's Choice Award at the show. This one I did on leather also. It was inspired by my trip to Cozumel. It's turtles in water. I did this all free motion. I'm not a computerized quilter, so everything you see I did myself on my long arm machine, which we'll head over to now. So this is my long arm machine. It's got a 26-inch throat, which means I can put a large piece of material. I can roll a whole quilt onto these rollers, king size. So yeah, I can quilt anything from small pieces to huge bed covers. This is a simple wall hanging. It's done on kid skin. Not so simple. I took a picture of Multnomah Falls, and then I transferred the image to the leather by hand, and I'll show you how I did that in just a little bit. I put it on the long arm with a backing and then batting, which is this fuzzy stuff which gives it the poofiness, and then I start stitching. So to show you how I do that, I just press this little button and it's go. These things are really time intensive. They have tons of tiny detail, so they take a while to do. And as I said, it's not done by computer, it's all done by hand. What I'm doing now is I'm drawing tiny little leaves to make the bush that goes above Multnomah Lodge. So I stitched all of this, the falls, the bridge, the lodge, the flowers here, the words and all the pebbles. If you look at the cliffs, I changed thread colors several times to get all the different colors of the cliffs, the water, the trees, and I don't know if you can see the contrast on the film, but I also stitched blue sky in between all of the trees up here. So I'd say probably there's about 36 hours of work total into this piece itself. One of the things I love to do is take pictures that I see in nature and put them on leather. So we were in Cozumel last winter, and I took several pictures of sea life, different types of animals, shells, underwater plants, and I thought, okay, I'm going to stitch this out on leather. So this is a picture. It's black and white. It's not even a good picture. I blew it up and printed it out on my printer, and then I outlined the creature in a Sharpie. Then I transferred that to clear paper with the Sharpie, and then I took this and my leather. This is a deerskin hide that's been dyed teal. This is chalk paper. I put the chalk paper down, I put this on top, and then I trace over it using a stylus. That causes the chalk to go onto the leather. So then I can take my leather, put it on the long arm, and stitch out my octopus. Now you'll notice on the on my transfer, I only have the major outline. That's because that's all I need. The rest of this I just freehand in, or I look up pictures of octopuses and put it in there myself. This has been made first before I do the rest of it, so that my octopus and these turtles are going to poof out more. They'll be more three-dimensional. So when I'm done with it on the long arm, I take it off and I cut all around the fabric very, very close to the stitching. That gives this about a 1/16 of an inch more poof or dimension than the rest of the piece will. So I'm done with the octopus. I've got 3 turtles here that I did. I've also cut them around the edges. And then later today, when I'm done with Multnomah Falls, I will put this back on the long arm with the fabric and the fuzzy batting, and I'm going to start stitching in other sea animals, the water, the grass, and all that stuff under the ocean. So as I mentioned, I do t-shirt quilts, and I'm making one for Camp Collins for their silent auction at the end of the month. This is what I've got so far. Column 1, as you can see, I've got fabric sewn onto the different t-shirts. The t-shirts have already been cut, and what I have left to do is sew all these pieces together in a column, put a border around it, and then attach it to the middle, the back, put it on the long arm, and voila, they're going to have this great t-shirt quilt that shows off Camp Collins that they will be auctioning at the end of the month. I'm Marie from Marie's Custom Quilting. I'm located in historic downtown Gresham, just at the end of the memory wall. I do long arm quilting, custom quilting. I make art for people's businesses, their homes, their bedrooms, their beds, you name it. I can quilt it. Bring it on in and we can talk about your projects.